I would see operational excellence is emerging as a critical driver of growth for Africa's evolving fintech space. They're enabling companies to navigate complex regulatory environments, diverse consumer needs, and infrastructural challenges. As the continent's digital economy expands, fintech firms are focusing on building robust, scalable operations to meet the increasing demand for financial services. That's rising right now in Africa. Joining us to unpack this, we have Lasbury Oludemi. She's the Vice President of Global Operations and Managing Director of Yellow Card Nigeria, joining me via Zoom. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Ladi, for having me.
Yeah, so we're seeing so much talk there about fintechs and capital raises so far. But let's look at operational excellence now. It might mean different things, for different people and different companies at this time. Help us break it down, for us in this fast-moving fintech space.
Thank you so much, Ladi. I think for me, operational excellence is a strategic business mindset, right? And the focus is on consistently improving business operations to achieve superior performance and also driving sustainable growth, right? Operational excellence it all involves optimizing processes, reducing waste. Currently, we're hearing what people are doing with AI, and you can imagine how much AI has saved so many fintechs, so many startups, right? That's operational excellence. That's what we're looking for. It's also involved in enhancing productivity and aligning all aspects of the organization to deliver value to the customers, employees, and even the stakeholders. If your business is not delivering value to the customers, then you don't have any business to operate, right? So that's all about operational excellence. I think for African tech ecosystem, it's not just about process efficiency, it's about adaptability at scale. You may ask, what does that mean? Yeah, it's all about, or it refers to the organization's ability to adjust and thrive in the face of challenging circumstances. Yeah, there are so many things that can come our way, but you need to build something that is able to adapt to changes, but doing so efficiently and effectively across board. For us, this environment is quite dynamic, right? We see so many things come up every month, every quarter, every year. So excellence is just all about building systems that can quickly respond to changes. It might be regulatory changes. It may also be some infrastructural challenges, right? It may also be customer needs across diverse markets. You remember when during the COVID era, when we had the cashless policy, you ask yourself, I want to do a transaction. What do customers really want? You see some fintech within the banking sector that really took it up and ran with it, right? And today, every vendor on the street has an account with those fintech banks, right? Unlike the traditional commercial banks, that's all about operational excellence, right? You need to build something that can withhold change. You need to build something that can always add value to the customers, to the consumers, irrespective of the changes or the environment where you operate in. That's all about operational excellence. Yeah.
Right.
And this should be like a foundation. This should be like a foundation when you think of building something. You don't just build. For those of us in so many markets, we don't build for uniformity. We understand that markets are different. We understand that the consumers are different, and we understand that the environment can change, right? So it will really be helpful. It will help your business if you have all these in mind, right? For us at Yellow Card, it means creating a foundation that supports rapid improvement without sacrificing compliance or maybe customers' trust or long-term sustainability. So when you have a product, when you think of doing a business, well, when you think of establishing a business, what you should have at the back of your mind is, what is it that can I build that would be able to withstand changes in the ecosystem, that will be able to withstand regulatory changes or even the appetite of the customers, that would help you to have something that will stand the taste of time, right?
Right.
I'm always amazed each time I listen to one of us speak about what we have, right? He describes the infrastructure as Lego, and he always say you just plug and play. What does that mean? You already have the foundation, and whatever you think your customers need, whatever you think the market needs, right? You can always bring it on board. You can always build for it because you have the foundation. That's all about operational excellence, Ladi.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. You keep getting hearing headlines of some of these fintech companies actually folding up after 5 years or even less. Some of the time. So, what would you say are some of the operational challenges you've observed across the continent? Leading your organization.
Okay, Ladi, I think that the biggest one is regulation, right? Because of the space we operate in. And you can also see for different markets, different region, there are different stages, right? You see some markets that already have a regulatory regime. You also see other markets that are already doing some sort of sandbox in application or program for players in the ecosystem. You also see some people that already are they're already drafting their regulations. So I can say regulation is the biggest for anybody trying to play within the system. And you should be able to understand the regulatory space. You should also be able to have a very strong tie and relationship with the regulators. I think stakeholder collaboration is key. Regulatory engagement is key for every one of us if you need to overcome this challenge. Another thing we have also seen is the issue of infrastructure. A good example is the mobile money adoption. If you look at what we do, right, you definitely need that leg, that rail to give value to the customers. And mobile money plays a key role in that process. Yeah. That if you look at the way we have what we have done with mobile money is totally different from what is obtainable in the East African region, right? For every transaction, every vendor, you can easily walk into a store and you pay with a mobile money, right? Unlike in the West Africa where we're still doing bank transfers and all that. So I can say that every region, every market has its own special challenges. But what will really help every startup, every fintech, is to understand the local nuances and also have a robust regulatory relationship and have a product that is flexible, right? You can always tweak at any time to fit the markets, to fit the regulatory requirements. I also remember that in the case of KYC, not every market has a strong central verification system. And for you to do well in this ecosystem, KYC is key. So if you can see that we have different challenges in different markets. It might be one particular thing might be good in this market and you struggle with it in the other markets, right? Like what I said before, you need to understand the market. You need to understand the local nuances. You also need to have a good relationship with the regulators, and you need to build a product that is flexible enough to adapt to changes, right? It's not all about rolling out a product. It's not all about building a business, but you also need to understand the environment you play in, and you try to putting things in place to support your growth.
Right. And talking about growth, we see some of you companies there, operating in different, regions, at the same time. How do you manage that?
I think the best thing for us, the best thing we have done is to localize operations, right? So if you're thinking of playing in this system or this space, you need to localize your operations, except you just want to operate in one market, and which is also not good for startups, right? Because the environment may not be good enough for you to grow. So if you're thinking about growth, you should also have the mindset to try and launch in so many markets. Like for me, I think what has really helped us is to be able to first have a good infrastructure. First, have a good system, and for everything we have built, we always have best practice in our minds, right? And what will really help you expand to other regions is if you're able to kind of replicate whatever you have done in one market that has worked into another market. That would help you operate. That would help you grow in those markets, and that would also help you move faster in other markets where you want to operate in. So it's all about considering, it's all about thinking of, it's all about growth. Once you have that growth mindset and you think of what will help you grow, then you sit back and you put them in place.
Right.
For us, it's not a big challenge at all. And if you also look at some people in this space, a good example is some of us in the Nigerian market.
Right.
Some years ago, we had a policy statement and some people went down, right? Because they didn't have that growth mindset. They did not expand beyond Nigeria, right? So you should be thinking outside certain markets.
Exactly. Well, so much to unpack there, and definitely this will be an ongoing conversation. We will definitely run out of time at this point, but we'll definitely pick up so you can share that wealth of knowledge with us, at this point. Thank you so much, Lansbury Oludimush is MD, Yellow Card Nigeria. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Ladi. It's always a pleasure to be here.